Dear Diary, there is a show that I have recently fallen in love with called Cruel Summer. A kidnapped girl, Kate Wallace, turns her ire to the girl that seems to have replaced her, Jeanette Turner, in the life she left behind. Her popularity, friends, and even boyfriend have flocked away in her absence. The moment she escapes, she tells all that Jeanette saw her through the barred window in the basement and left her behind without searching for rescue. Immediately, their boyfriend punches Jeanette in the face, making her bleed. It is the beginning of an entire year of Jeanette being harassed and ostracized, and we see in great detail how it ruins the lives of her and the rest of her family. This is juxtaposed with Kate Wallace being given an equal amount of importance in the narrative as soon as the second episode. So the more we see how she ended up in that basement, and her struggle to recover, the more we grow sympathy for the groomed girl. There were warning signs about Jeanette the entire time, Dear Diary, but for all of my analytical thinking, I struggled to see past the ways that I could relate to her. I spent my teen years becoming hardened and looking over my shoulder due to rumors that made me the target of the ire of many for no reason on my part. People go to great lengths to see themselves as good and deserving. When convinced they have found someone who deserves to be punished, they do so with great glee. We see this in how the town, and soon, the country, treats Jeanette. Those who are openly cruel and entitled, even the numerous ones with their own skeletons in the closet, happily take part in making going outside so stressful for Jeanette that she drops out of school and hides in her house to guard her heart. Her ex-boyfriend makes a habit of parking outside of her house with a gun in the dashboard. She is just a kid, I end up thinking to myself, even when she trespasses into someone else's home. She was a kid, and so was I, and I think this as she has a meltdown rehearsing a likable victim act in front of her TV. It is a trauma completely different from that of Kate, who we see groomed in painstaking detail. After she returns, every single person in her life tries to gaslight her. Many succeed. She is deserving of recovery and sympathy, but when I saw the memory she had of seeing Jeanette, how Jeanette had come in calling to see if anyone was there, how Kate had hidden herself and looked out of the living room window into a night so dark that she could hardly see herself, I right about lost it. How would Jeanette be able to recognize her in that setting? How would she be meant to deduce that who she saw was kidnapped? This is logic that she immediately takes to in forgiving the person who actually saw her, which is realistic instead of inconsistent, because people will not treat others based on fairness, but rather who they like more. So rather than think of this obvious explanation when it comes to Jeanette, she ruins her life and possibility of a future, making it her own fault that she was sued for defamation, because there is no way else someone in that spot can get their reputation back. Many in the show criticize Jeanette for suing a kidnapping victim, but the victimized do not have the right to victimize in return. Jeanette sues Kate and ends up clearing her name after gaslighting Kate herself. And I say this because Jeanette did know she was in that basement from a completely different incident. It is revealed in the last episode that she did not see but heard her, and left her there while smiling. A memorable twist for sure, but also a ruin to a story that should have been about how both girls were victimized by motions started by a predatory adult. The staff on the show went on record as this being a mistake that Jeanette has grown past, but they failed in showing that growth or regret. It is stated that this is meant to be a show about the overwhelming pressures of teenage girls and how it ruins them. But this would have been better done by making both girls as faultless as possible to not make their prior themes moot.